everyone, hope you are doing wonderfully today and hope you're having fun making music. In today's episode, I will be walking you through how to mix live drum bass to make it sound tight, glue, more focused, and more energetic and more controlled, even to sound more vintage since I love a vintage tone, I love mixing one. So in this one, I'll be walking you through the plugin that I use, what I use the plugin, what the plugin is doing for me, the placement or the position of each plugins on this drum box mix. Then I'll play the drums for you without the plugins. Then you listen to the drums before and after so that you can have the idea of how the drums sound like before it's been processed. Very soon I'm going to be making video on how I mix the whole drum kit. So if you don't want to miss this episode, I will encourage you to subscribe and hit all the notification button so that you'll be aware whenever I upload any new video coming on soon. So let's go into that now. I'll be playing the drums for you. So for you to have the idea of how the drums sound like. Listen now. That's just it. That's the drums that you've just listened to without and with the plugins. Now I'll begin to show you by turning on each plugin one after the other. Then I will tell you what each plugin is doing for me and why I use the plugin. I'll begin with Console Emulator Boss, which is the stock plugin in Cakewalk by BandLab. I'm using this one to emulate the console character since I didn't record the drums with any of these API, NAV, SSL, and name all the Pro consoles. So I only recorded the drums on an ordinary digital mixer without being processed. I'm using that to create the character and for me to achieve either the API or SSL or NAV console character. That's the reason why I'm using this one. That's a console emulator boss that I've just listened to, the way it sounds like. You could hear when I change from S-type to A-type and to N-type. I so much love S-type because it emulates more of the vintage character of the console for me. And you could hear the difference when I crank the gain all the way up. You could hear the character of the snare drum and the cymbals, the way it sounds like so smooth and more focused, and it adds more strength into the transit signal for me. This is what the console emulator boss is representing for me. So the next thing that I'm going to be turning on now, I'm going to be turning on the PuigChild 670 compressor. So I'm using this one to glue, to compress the signal and to bring out some details and add more character on the drums for me. So listen to how it sounds like. So what I only do on the compressor, I only compress up to like 1 dB gain reduction on the compression so that it just had a sort of compression, and the release time is about 300 ms, so which I also want to have an average release so it will have much compression on all the signal that is coming out from the drums. And the transformer button, I use the 50 hertz so that it won't have more compression on the total drum bass. So it will do a sort of compression and enhance more of the low end for me since I want my drum to sound fat. Pardon me guys, and don't be surprised that you suddenly see me in this appearance. There's something that I forgot to talk on And I discovered that during the editing of this video today. So the thing is to talk about the EQ. So pardon me for that. Let me quickly put you through that now. So what is happening here is I have APF 560 series, which is the graphic EQ that I used to recreate the tone shape of the drums and that I used to enhance the output of the drums, the highs and depth of the low frequency in that. So you already heard how it sounds like. Now I'm going to be bypassing that. Listen to the drums, how it sounds without the EQ. That's it that you just listen to. You could hear a bit dark tone on the drums, and when I turn on the EQ, you could hear how brighten there's a snare drum and the rise when it was playing. So what I did on that is let me quickly show you that I'm boosting up to 5 dB on 16K, then up to 3 dB that I boost on 4K. So on 16K, I'm boosting up to 5 dB, then almost 3 dB on 30 Hertz to just enhance the low frequency to have more body. And another thing that I would love to talk about is I'm using the EQ as post EQ. So I have to bring the EQ after the compressor. In a moment now, let me quickly show you that you will hear the subtle change in that. Okay, I'm bringing that here. Listen to the drums. I believe you could hear the difference between the two. Okay, now what it does, when I brought the compressor back after the EQ, I love the way it sounds also smooth and a bit robust and like that. But the energy is not enough, like the depth that I really wanted on the drums. So how I really want the drums to sound and I want the drums to sit on the ground and have domain on the atmosphere. So that's a sort of attribute that it adds to that for me. So I'm going to be turning on the tape emulator. So you listen to the character contribution on the drum mix. So let's see that. Okay, about the tape emulator, stock plugin in Cakewalk by BandLab. The first place when it was on, you could hear that the drums has more body, and when I turn it off, you hear the difference that the song sounds somehow. It's not that it doesn't sound good, but there's a change and there's a difference in the character of the drums when it was turned off. With it, a tape speed adds more to the coloration, a dark tone and the bright tone. I initially used 15 IPS, so by demonstrating so that you can hear the coloration of the tape speed from 15 to 7.5. And also, finally, I'm using oversampling. The over adds more energy into the transient signal of the drums, more energy and more character and tone shape on my drum. So which I so much like. So this is all about it. Let me play the drums once again without all of the plugins and with the plugins. So you have the overall idea of what I'm talking about since, okay, by turning off everything. So listen to the drums now. This is exactly what I'm talking about. My explanation on my live drum mix for you. What is happening here is since I didn't record the drums with huge analog console in particular, I'm trying to bring my drum mix close to pro drum mix. I'm trying to bring my drum mix close to the samples, like when you have addictive drums compared to that, when you have this drum compared to EZ drummer, seven slate drum. So I'm trying to bring my drum mix sound close to professionals, the legend whom I learned from. I'm trying to make my drum sound more advanced and sound more professional by the time I'm done with the rest of the mix. So it's gonna sound more lovely and it's gonna be beautiful. It won't just sound shabby or sound shallow when you listen to it. Thank you so much. This is all about today's episode. And if you really enjoyed the video that you're watching, please help me. I need your contribution. I need your comment. What do you think about what I've just shown to you? Drop down the comment below. A thumb up for me if you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to subscribe and hit all the notification button so you'll be aware when I upload any video soon. It's all about it. Thanks so much for watching. Have fun making music. See you in the next episode. Bye.